Hey, Blue Table fans. You woke up this morning and were like, you know what'd be awesome? Is a close-up of Sean's face. And in all its gory detail. You know, as you get older, you get like skin stuff. Like moles and stuff.
I wouldn't know, Sean.
Migrations.
I'm still really young.
Yeah, shut up, Rich. You're not really young. What are you, 43?
No. We're almost the same age.
I'm 52.
I'm 51.
Yeah, I think Rich is just a little bit younger.
A few months.
It's hard to tell, you know.
I'm a grandpa, though.
Yeah, Rich is a grandpa. So, we're up at Valhalla. Valhalla is at a place called... And by the way, Rich is busy with something else. He was like, hey, I
might have to stop in the middle
can't
of
do the interview. No, I'm just going to talk while you're gone. He's like, I can't do the interview now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm turning this on now. By the way, I'm doing an interview with Miranda.
Awesome.
She doesn't know it yet, but it's happening. And it's going to be what I call the 7-year vengeance interview, where this time she's going to talk over me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
She
talk
has
over
7
her
years,
7 years ago?
7 years of wisdom. Yeah, at Adepticon 2013 is when I met.
Okay.
So it was a, hi, my name's Miranda. I'm like, great, let's do an interview. Dink, we're rolling already.
Was that her first?
She looked.
Was that her first Valhalla?
She looked like a cat that didn't want to be petted. No Valhalla. It was Adepticon.
Right.
Oh yeah, I had her up that year.
So that was my first Valhalla too.
Her and her then boyfriend, Thomas. Does he go by Tommy?
I call him Tommy.
I'm gonna stick with Thomas. I always thought Tommy was like her affectionate nickname.
Well, maybe I'm affectionate.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. So anyway, Valhalla is up at this giant lodge in Timber Lakes. Timber Lakes is like a gated community, almost like a little city. Like you look up on Google, it's like Heber, Midway, Timber Lakes.
Yep.
But there's a gate. There's a massive. They rebuilt this gate now since we started coming, and it's high security to get in here now.
It is.
They don't just let anybody roll up and just get through. They don't wave them through.
Well,
so,
they waved me through.
Yeah, well,
They said,
know
oh, Rich. Okay, go ahead.
you. Rich has this thing called gravitas, where people just assume that he's important somehow. And I don't know why that is. Anyway, so Rich, you got stuck. Oh, it snowed.
Oh yeah, it was a blizzard 2 days ago, and I was coming up. My son was coming up to take my place because I had to do something with my daughter, and I called him and said, "No, your car will never make it." And so the Cadillac made it right to the bottom of the last hill, and said, "No, I can't make it." And then when I parked just off the road in the snow, and then when I got it back this morning, the tire's blown. So trying to get that taken care of.
Is it completely flat then?
It's completely flat. Yeah.
Oh, so maybe something in it just sort of leaked overnight. Yeah. So, but you made it. So you made it pretty close.
I could have hiked it. We played a joke. So I called Danielle, my sister, and they sent help to get me. And we in this blizzard we came up, and then as they brought me in the door, I like wallered around in the snow. Wallered is a southern word. And I just put snow all over me and on my face, and I drug my arms over their shoulders, and they drugged me in the building, and it was pretty funny.
Like he barely made it. Yeah, we're
fighting off bears.
Degenerate cavemen who don't have real challenges anymore. Okay, great. And so this year was different because we had a lot of snow.
Yes,
I think
this
felt
was
like
the first
maybe
that
6 inches.
I can remember that it was this much snow. We've had snow at Valhalla.
Yeah, there's a
before,
joke in there somewhere. Okay, sounds good. Well, it was really beautiful. I didn't get any footage of it, but a friend of mine that came up got some footage, and I'm hoping to swipe that from him later. So Rich is figuring out AAA right now. He doesn't want to be interviewed.
I'm fine.
His sister is in the kitchen
I will
giving me
just
dirty
leave
looks.
when I need to.
She says no dirty looks. She says, keep me out of this.
We always look at you like that, Sean.
Yeah. Did you notice this year I didn't set up in the kitchen? This year and last year? Because normally I sit in here and like kind of do my work and try and socialize with you.
You have a spare for each flag, correct?
I have a spare, yes, for the flat, yes.
Oh, okay, that made it sound like maybe you had to have 4
Spares.
right?
Right?
Do you have a spare for each tire?
No.
Okay. All right, so
What's
let's.
the address?
It is
Oh, here
here.
we go.
What's the address here? I will look
It's
it up.
like 10,000.
Hamilton Plaza Road?
Yes,
Is that right?
that is the one.
Okay.
Yeah, they got to name their own road for the driveway here, and that's what they came up with. Yep. All right. So, Rich, so are you done with your thing now?
No,
Is that it?
we might have some more, but
Oh, okay.
we can keep going, Sean.
Well, the interview's with you,
Okay.
and so I can just cover while you do your thing. I'll
No,
just
if
keep
she
talking
needs
about this
more,
and that.
she'll ask me.
Okay, great. So what I want to know is what's going on with the mighty Rich Kilton these days?
I'm a grandpa. That's the funnest thing right now. I'm one of my sons had a baby and the other one's expecting, and so that's been a joy, and still beating people's heads in with my orcs, and so that's Sean and I have had many games with orcs, and
I've only lost once.
my squigoth over there is why I'm here, because when Sean came to interview, yes, sorry,
I need the year of your car.
it's a 2004 Cadillac DeVille.
Oh man.
It's pearl. It's not white.
Oh man. Okay. I just killed part of my humanity inside by not
Pearl
making
is
like
not an
3
option.
jokes
You
right
have
now.
silver or white.
Call it white.
Pearl is not
It's
an
pearl.
option, brother. Sorry
The
about
old
that.
man who sold it to me said it's pearl. It's not white.
That's fantastic.
But so when Sean interviewed my ex to be the caterer for this,
Right.
he saw my squigoth.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the food contributed to her getting the job, but I still claim it was the squigoth.
Yeah.
They got me the job. They got her the job.
I was like, oh, the squigoth is so great. Yeah. You're hired. Your
The food's great.
Your food's good. You can get out of here now.
They are on their way.
On their way. Awesome. Thank you.
Wow. Do they have the information needed to get in the gate?
59 minutes.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, I don't know.
Because they won't be able to just roll up.
No,
and be
they'll
like,
say-
I'm
they'll
sure
say-
the guy will say.
Will it be like a
whether
tow
he's
truck?
going-
then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
It's
probably
AAA.
It's
legit.
It'll be a
AAA, Sean.
truck.
Well, I don't know. The AAA guy can't just get in anywhere
Oh,
because
yeah,
he
you
has
can.
the uniform.
You just ram the gate.
Ram the gate. That'll be great. That'll get charged to the.
So yeah, I guess this
Okay.
is, how many years is this now? So
2013.
8 years.
Yeah, it's been 8 years. Valhalla, we have Tyler Planto here, and he came to the first Sundance one in 2011. So this is his 10-year
That's
anniversary.
crazy
of
because
coming.
I don't even remember him for when he was young.
Yeah.
He must have like just been really a goober. 'Cause
He was like early 20s. I think he was playing like college football or something.
yeah. And he's great. He's like one of my favorite people now. But back then, I never played him back then. I played a lot of the young people because I like to have them have a good experience and stuff. But I never played Tyler until recently. Do you remember the time
I
we
think
played
he
that
was
kid?
playing Warhammer Fantasy.
And that was his first
kid?
win ever. The kid, the year that
When I played him?
the year we had a young man that came.
Oh, okay.
He was before they changed the age restriction.
Right.
And he had never won a game, and he and I played as orcs against you and some other guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he beat you with his dreadnought on that last kind of play of the game, and how happy he was. That was one of my favorite 40K experiences.
That's great.
It was great because he had never won a game.
And thank you for telling that story, because that speaks to the whole brainchild of Valhalla. At Adepticon 2010, which was in the spring, I never played in any of the tournaments. I just went around with my flip camera and interviewed people on the spot, which I loved, because I had hope for life and a soul at the time. So anyway, I was watching this doubles tournament, and it was a father-son, and opposite them was what let's call two douchebags. And they were so mean. And the son was like looking at his dad like confused. And I was like, oh. And also, none of the people I wanted to interview and actually like talk to about business, they were so busy with their stands, with their booths. And so I was like, all right, what if, and on the plane back, I started making notes. And at the time, it wasn't called Valhalla. So I started making notes, and I was like, all right, what if we had just a private thing? Like maybe 20 people came, and then we just picked. We picked some cool people, and then we got some guest stars, and then they made a draw for people that would pay for tickets, and then we would just pay for this thing and kind of have it our way, and have great food and all that. And later it was changed to Valhalla.
What was it called then?
The code name for the project was Mountain Fortress.
Awesome.
And that's when we went to Thistle, where there was this plastic surgeon. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to do it so bad. I think the first one was that winter of 2010, and that was like the dumbest thing ever to do. Oh, let's do an event that nobody knows about, and let's do it in the winter in Utah. That's my genius idea. I sold 1.5 tickets. So anyway, there you go.
Okay.
But now it's all come to fruition. Miranda's running it, which is even better.
Even better.
It's like, oh, Sean, you could run it, or Miranda could run it. Be like, yeah, no thanks. And she does like such a better job.
She does a great job.
So anyway, back to Rich Kilton. Rich, so you're a grandfather,
I am.
and it's through your son.
Through my oldest son, and then my youngest son is also expecting next April.
Oh, that's bananas.
Yeah.
Didn't he just get back from his mission?
Year and a half ago, and then got married about 9-10 months ago, something like that.
Oh, okay. So he's doing the Mormon slide. Like get married within a year, and then kid within
another year.
more or less a year. Yeah. Okay, got it. I like it. That's a way to live, by the way. There's a lot of great happiness there.
He's doing fabulous. Yeah.
Okay. So, but your oldest son, does he live with you?
So I have a basement apartment, and he rents my basement apartment. Yeah. So, yeah, it's great to be able to see my granddaughter every day, and I miss her this week. So, I'll be excited to see her when we're done on Friday.
That's really cool.
But I still
see her is your granddaughter.
Yes. Oh, my son. I guess I'll see my son.
Yeah. Who cares about that? So your granddaughter, how old is she?
She's about 15 months.
Oh, that's such a special age. She's like
pretty
crawling around.
Yep.
Is she walking yet?
Not quite.
She's doing the hold on to things thing. Ah, that's such a magic age too. They're like all happy about things.
And the great thing about being there, but not like all the time, is I'm one of her favorite people. So she just loves to go see Boss. Oh, and she calls me Boss.
Does she really call you Boss?
My kids call me Boss. They don't call me Dad because they're teaching the kids to call me Boss instead of Grandpa. I'm Boss. So, because I play orcs, and I've been playing orcs for 31 years, and so Boss is kind of natural.
That's awesome. Wow, you've really made orkiness a way of life.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about your personal philosophy of life.
Okay.
Like advice, axioms, maybe rules to live by.
Okay.
I'm putting them on the spot, by the way.
No, that's great.
Are those brownies?
Shiny!
I'll be right back.
Okay, so Sean might read this later, but to me, the most important thing is to treat other people really well and be happy. Great advice that I received from a good friend of mine was treat everyone as if they just had the worst day of their life. And because they often have, or at least feel like it. So,
give me your wallet! You're weak!
So it's just like, be happy and try to always treat people correctly, and you'll live a good life, and it tends to seem to work out when you treat people. Yeah?
Thank you, Rich. That's really nice.
You're welcome.
Really good. I've been finding out that people watch the channel for different reasons. There's still people that want me to do battle reports. But I'm too depressed about the high quality of other battle reports to actually do a battle report.
Well, he knows he'd never beat me anyway. So.
That is true. Because Rich is so far ahead of me in skill.
Although our last game that we ever played together, Sean won. It was his first victory that he ever beat me, but he did win that last.
Now, I remember talking to Rich before that game and saying, hey, this is for all the marbles, and that we had agreed that it would retroactively
Wipe out all the thousands
and
of
at the
victories.
time, I actually thought I was at about a 50% win rate, which shows you how delusional I am. I had actually won 0 games against Rich. But in my mind, I
Many
was like,
very close
I
games.
probably won about half of those games.
Many very close games.
Maybe I won because I had a good time.
That's right. And you know what? That's how you win. That's how you win.
Yeah, that is true.
That's a philosophy I have.
But I did win that critical game. But when I went back, sorry.
No, you're good.
When I went back to look at the video to see if I got it on record,
It wasn't there, was it?
it didn't. My proposal was whoever won could smash the enemy leader with a 10-pound sledge, which I've brought to this event. And so we're going to go ahead and publicize that live because it's a long time coming, you bastard. Okay, go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I was going to say that that's one of the philosophies that myself, and also I'm part of a team that we play 40K, and that we want anybody that we play, anybody on our team who plays them, to want to play them again. Even if they get beat or they win, whatever, you know what, oh, that was a good game, I had fun, I want to play that person again. If you go away and they go, oh, I never want to play that guy again, you failed. Just try and be better. Improve your skill as a person and as a player. Because winning is not the most important thing. It's having fun and treating each other with respect.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What did you say?
I don't know. Wah!
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Orcs. So lame.
It's easy with orcs because even when I beat people, they kill 100 guys, so they feel good.
That's a really good point. Well, Rich, is there anything else you'd like to add? I
Just
feel like you told
it's
some
always
stories.
so great to be at Valhalla. It is just I look forward to it every year, and it's just and this has become the war boss's chair. Like this
He
Russian
holds
chair.
court back here behind the kitchen.
I work.
I'll come in, there'll be like
work.
2 or 3 people sitting on the floor. And like, he didn't bring other chairs for people. People have to come sit on the floor around his throne. And I'm just like, what is going on back there? Yeah, there you go. So
I have to say, I'm going to show you.
Oh yeah, show him your bull crap maneuver that you're doing. I couldn't believe it.
Space Marine.
Get it up there. Get it up there. Put your hand behind it so it'll.
I'm
there you go.
painting Space Marine.
You're making a Black Templars army.
I've had a Black Templar. It's the Order of the Crimson Cross, led by Maximitus. So I've had it forever. Nobody ever sees me.
So what
play
did the
it, 'cause I
doctor
always
say?
play
He said I
orcs.
had Maximitus. Well, how did you get that? I don't want to talk about it.
All my characters have names. I mean, they have to. That's part of the game. Here's Chirok.
Yeah, there you don't. Yeah, they won't be able to see it on the screen.
There's my. I used the rules
What's
for
the base model
Gazgul.
for that?
It's 2 Death Dreads, a Sculptor, and about 30 years of kit bashing.
So it's all GW.
It's all GW,
So
but
you
it's
don't
all
have-
conversion.
Do you have to go before a tournament and clear any of your models?
When you're playing tournaments, you do. You have to send in to one of the TOs and say, hey, this is my model. And the thing is, I have so many models. I have the Gazgul model, so I could use that. And I say,
Right.
I run this as Gazgul. Is that okay? And they'll approve it. And like my Beast Boss on Squigosaur that I run.
Now, if it's all Games Workshop pieces, do you still need to clear it?
You still do. Yeah.
Okay. Unless it's like the official model.
Right. And you need
And
to
by
have
the way,
proper
you
base
always
sizes.
get approved.
I always get.
Base sizes, they'll get you on.
Base size, you have to
can't
be correct.
mess with that.
Yep.
All right, and I see that on like Facebook forums and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People are always asking, "Oh, can I run my whatever on a 40 millimeter when it's supposed to be 50?" Nope. Can't. Not at a tournament. Don't do it.
Yep.
And I had a client where we put his guy on the wrong size base. He got DQ'd. Yeah, he was like, "Hey, Sean, just letting you know, I just got DQ'd from an event because it was like a Nurgle guy that had a radius. And we had put it on a 50 instead of a 40 or whatever, and it was advantage."
Yep.
So anyway, but I've never had tournament organizers they'll just approve things.
Yeah.
And it's better. I've even gotten pre-rulings on rules before, which is not a bad way to go.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh,
If it's a questionable,
I need it to work.
Well, and the other part of that is you never want your opponent. You never want to have that gotcha moment where you go, "Oh, you didn't know that rule? I got you." You don't want that.
they don't make that noise. They just think it. Right, and Rich is right for having like the official models on hand. So if there was a thing where like, oh, you can't have that one, you could just go, you do a side like this, you go, and then you just bring out that regular.
And I actually, one time that has happened.
Really? Okay.
Where my opponent said, "No, I don't really want you to play with that." And I went, "Okay." And I just pulled out the real model. He went, "Oh." I think he thought maybe he'd get my model pulled or something, and so I pulled out the real model.
Oh, well, there you go. And I want you guys to know, anyone that hasn't come to a competitive type tournament, they are very lovely.
Yes.
Like anything you may hear is like the vast, tiny little minority of interaction.
Anything negative, yeah.
Right.
So there are some tournament players that are not great people to play, but I think that's in every grouping.
But they generally behave themselves. When
Generally,
they're at an event.
especially once people kind of know who they are, then the tournament organizers are pretty good about keeping an eye out.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll keep an eye out.
And of course, if you're at the losing tables,
What's that like, Sean?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Because nobody cares. It's all just the dregs and of humanity.
Sean and I have been goofing for so long.
You know, and I set
how
out
many
to
games?
do 100 games with my Necrons.
Was that your first?
That was my first time going to like tournaments.
First tournament game.
Right. Now I used to go to RTTs back in like the 90s and early 2000s, and actually won a lot of best painted.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I would go for. I would go
Right.
for best painted because I would put in effort. I remember one time they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you've won best sportsmanship," and I'm like, "Hold on a second, you mean best painted, right?" They were like, "Nope, it was this other guy," and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" So I went over there.
Then they go, "Oh,
I
no
looked at his
sportsman."
army, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy is awesome." Like he had a Dark Angels army that was just shaded out. I mean, it was like incredible. And so when they called everybody up, I'm like, "Yeah, all I got was this lousy sportsmanship trophy." Good times were had by all.
So my proudest accomplishment
Yeah.
twice at the World Championships at Las Vegas, I have come in second place. Renaissance Man. Renaissance Man is the combination. It's great models and painting. It's great generalship, so how you play the game, and it's great sportsmanship. And second place in that in a huge field has been my favorite thing, because that's why we play the game, for all three aspects of the hobby.
Yeah, I agree. And when I first knew you, little did I know that you would go on to do great things.
I did great things then, Sean.
And little did you know that.
Crushing Eldar is a great thing.
God, I hate you so bad. You're the worst.
I know.
Well, we're having a good time. It's always good to catch up with Rich. I do need to give a shout out to Miranda, aka Wargamer Girl. She's carried the torch brightly for Valhalla for 6 years now. Next year will mark her doing it longer than I did.
Wow.
And every year it gets better. It's smoother. It's an autofill now. Like I was telling somebody about it. They're like, "Oh, I've never heard about it." I'm like, "Yeah, they don't have to say anything."
I think their Kickstarter sold in
An hour.
It was an hour.
Yeah.
Hour.
It's auto-filled with basically the same group. Well, and that's
there's
interesting.
There's new people every year.
There is.
Yeah.
That's why I said basically the same group. You giant nerd.
I don't want people
My
to
wife
think,
does
"I
that
can
too.
never get in
She's
there."
like, "What time is it? 6 o'clock?" And then she goes and looks at the thing. She's like, "Sean, actually it's 5:57." And I'm like, but the truth was substantive,
Yeah.
you know.
I really hope that the travel restrictions
So anyway.
lighten, because that's one thing I miss is we used to get so many Australians and British people,
yeah.
and we just haven't had that.
I don't think we have anybody from out of the country.
Just Dan.
Oh yeah, Dan. And
And
he
Ray.
came like at last minute.
Oh, well,
Ray?
Ray's not Scottish. He just lives in Scotland. So.
All right. Well, I'll take it. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, it is kind of an autofill,
Yes.
which is amazing.
Yes.
I did ask them if they thought of maybe doing a second one, and I think that was met with a slight groan / eye roll. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. But and you know what, a thing can be good without constantly getting bigger and bigger, and
yeah.
it can just be better.
Just be content.
But what occurred to me is like if it goes for 10 years, we're gonna kind of get to know all these people through this event and be all old and stuff. And but Miranda's doing a great job, and of
Yep.
course I have my sights on Ultimate D&D, which I can't call that for copyright reasons.
Sean,
So,
how old
next
were you?
spring.
How old were you when you started DMing?
Oh, 12. So 40 years.
So he's got me by like however much older, because I started DMing at 12 too. And
Wait! I could be better at something than Rich!
I tell you, his Ultimate D&D is
Everybody freeze!
pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Just
my
because
game
you've
this
been
year
doing
was
it longer doesn't mean it's better. Another joke in that, but
Okay. So my run at that is going to be next spring.
I'm excited.
I don't want to do it during the winter, but I'm thinking late June. And do it at Sundance, have maybe 12 to 18 people. And of course it would be different because here at Valhalla, where there's like 50 people, you have a buffer,
Yeah.
right? But at my thing, it'd be better if the group kind of knew each other, you know, and that way, because there would be, at 12 people, there's no buffer. You're with those people, those are the people you're hanging out with
Yep.
for the week. And that'd be nice to meet a group and have them up and run a game, and the game that I ran this year was over the top.
That's great.
Like it was transformational.
It's great to walk by and hear the laughing and the fun, and D&D's great.
And the miniatures.
I didn't get to see them all this year, Sean.
Oh, you will. I'm gonna have
Okay.
like a display
Good.
the last night.
Good. I'm glad, because it's been pretty busy, and first couple of days were pretty busy for me this year, but I've been getting some games in now.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Rich.
Thanks, Sean.
Always a pleasure to see you, and thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Blue Table fans.